I believe at that moment Puffy was terrified for his life. I think that he was afraid because all of the things that had gone out and about that party, they were singling him out, and I don't think that he thought he was going to survive it.
I'll Be Sure just sent the internet into a frenzy after he spilled the tea about who really killed Angie Stone and her shady affiliations to a white cult right before she got taken out. Not only was Angie a big deal in the music industry, but she was one of the first people to see Diddy's demonic ways and even helped him break through some of his demonic ways. But not too long after, he was right back to his old self. Angie's death came just days after she to sue UMG for stealing millions of dollars from her. Now, no one is saying Universal had a hand in her death, but baby, the whole thing definitely looks suspicious, and I'll Be Sure isn't keeping his mouth shut about it. He is exposing everything, including text messages of all the tea Angie was spilling to him, and it looks very much like our good sis was taken out before her time. Now, as most of you know, Angie tragically lost her life on her way back from a show when her car suddenly flipped over multiple times, leaving her and some of her crew members severely injured. At this point, it is believed that she was still alive and trying her hardest to break herself out of the car, but the shadiest thing happened when a truck came out of nowhere to hit her car while it was still flipped over with her inside. This was what really finished the job. And as if all of that wasn't weird enough, she was the only one out of everyone who died. Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but what are the odds that she got into a freak accident not once, but twice within a couple of minutes, and she's the only one who didn't make it out? To make matters even worse, the things that happened leading up to that night will definitely have you questioning if this was really an accident or a planned attack to take her out. You see, just before she died, she was getting ready to sue the hell out of Universal Music Group after she found out that they were allegedly stealing her royalties all these years. And I'm not talking about no couple $100. We're talking at least $10 million over the last few decades, and Auntie wasn't planning on letting that slide. Angie said she would have been able to retire 20 years ago if Universal wasn't pocketing all that money, but because she didn't receive anything, she had to keep working. And it's crazy because even on the day that she died, she was working. She got into that crash on her way home from a show. Angie had no business making those long trips to work and still being on the road at 4 a.m. in the morning, but that's what she was forced to do to survive since they were stealing all her money.
A lot of my publishing, a lot of my royalties, my mechanicals, they have all pretty much been stolen. Where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this. Come to find out, Universal Music has been receiving all my royalties, all my mechanicals, but they have taken all the monies that were due to me, people that were working on my behalf, never even registered the songs, all the songs that I've done. I'm only coming to find out they were not properly registered by the companies that I signed over to. So I am truly a walking testimony that God has carried me all this time, because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, monies that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people that have been driving the ships, and what they've been doing is improperly representing me, improperly stealing from me, taking things in their own hand, changing and switching lanes because they knew I didn't know that part. The legal side, when you hire attorneys and managers and agents, they're supposed to make sure the gray area over there that they're in the driver's seat for, they're supposed to make sure you're taken care of. So I'm just here to let you know one way or the other, Universal Music, you're going to have to give up my coins. I mean, when you sit back and think Bruno Mars, Dr. Dre, when you think about all these people that have sampled music, if they're filthy rich on it, what's our problem? And that's why I'm telling on Universal and all the people that y'all work with me, y'all know who you are. You've been spotted. You've been seen. Your worth is useless to me now because I've seen the data. That's all I'm going to say. I got a team of people, a diesel crew, that's really trying to help me navigate things. And if I never get it, at least you heard it from me, because I don't know what they might do to keep from paying me all the money they owe me.
And I know y'all heard that last part. She said it right out of her own mouth that the reason she was making that video and telling us this was because she didn't know what they were going to do to not pay her all her money. And fast forward to a few days later, she dies in a freak accident at 4 a.m. in the morning, but everyone else she got into the accident with somehow makes it out alive except her. There's something fishy going on here, and it isn't just Diddy's funky freak-off parties. But it doesn't just end there, y'all. Angie also revealed shortly before she was taken out that she was facing a spiritual attack that led her to have a blood infection. This infection landed her in the hospital, literally fighting for her life. If it wasn't for prayers, she would have been gone sooner than she did.
I knew it was an attack. I knew it was a spiritual attack on me. However, I was treated and God healed me, cleared up. They cleared up the blood infection.
At the time, Angie didn't go into much details about this infection, but after she died, Al B. Sure made a post where he gave us the tea about what really happened. And it's safe to say that infection was the industry's first attempt at getting rid of her. A lot of people were actually not here for Al involving himself in this, but it wasn't because of him exposing the industry. It was because of how he did it. He made a post that was supposed to be a tribute to Angie. But in the caption, he posted a transcript of their text messages, and in the messages, Angie was telling him about some extremely personal issues that the public had no business knowing about. He started it off with a normal tribute that read, "I can't really gather my own thoughts at the moment to say anything close to describing the profoundly brave and amazing woman my sister, Angie Stone, was. So I'll just let Angie say it to you all in our last text to each other." After this point, he went on to post those transcripts, and that's when people started dragging him. It started off with a message from Angie that read, "Hey hun, it's Angie Stone reaching out to please give me a call ASAP. Lot of stuff happening regarding this transplant situation. I have 2 possible donors, but they are discriminating against blacks now. It's been 5 years." Al replied, "Hey there, queen. Great to hear from you. I'm on the plane and will touch base with you as soon as I touch down." In the next message she sent after this, she brought up Diddy and talked about how glad she was that he was finally getting exposed after years of Al trying to make the world see the kind of man he is. She also brought up Kim Porter and how she is apparently helping to have Diddy exposed. The message read, "Call me when you get a moment to chop it up with me. I've been praying hard for you ever since all this foolishness you've been saying for years finally been exposed, and he's going down. I didn't realize just how much craziness you had actually gone through, and it's so unfortunate. Now that I'm praying for you and supporting you on everything that you got going on, I pray that your son Quincy and yourself lock horn again and he walks away from that whole ratchet situation, as the whole world knows he deserves to be with his biological father at this time. I know that Kim is resting in paradise. She was born a couple days before me, so I know her spirit well. I know how she rolled, and I can assure you that she's been the one assisting you from the other side. Be blessed and know that I'm here for you no matter what. Peace and blessings, King." It's actually crazy that Angie brought up Diddy because just before she died, she also spilled major tea about how Diddy came running to her for prayers because he was afraid his life was in danger after that whole scandal involving Shine and J-Lo.
I just happened to be in the studio this particular day. And because he never, ever really bothered with me or spoke to me in that fashion, I wasn't a part of Uptown. I was just at MCA. On this particular day, I was coming off the elevator. I will never forget it as long as I live. And Puffy came to me, first time, speaking to me as a decent human being. And he said, "Hey, Miss Stone." I said, "Yeah, what's up?" He said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm fine. I'm shocked you speaking to me." He said, "Miss Stone, would you please pray with me?" I said, "Well, of course." When he asked me to pray with him, I believe at that moment Puffy was terrified for his life. I think that he was afraid because all of the things that had gone out and about that party, they were singling him out, and I don't think that he thought he was going to survive it. And I was just happy that whenever he didn't speak to me, I knew he couldn't see me. But on this day, he saw the God in me, which was so not about me, but it was so about the spirit that I carried.
Angie was deeply rooted in a lot of things, and people believe that they took her out because she knew too much. In fact, she was even linked to the rumored occultic sorority group Zeta Phi Beta. People didn't even know she was with them till they posted her after her death. It's unclear why she joined them, but some people claim she joined the cult so that she could protect herself from multiple attempts on her life from the industry. Unfortunately, that still wasn't enough, because if the rumors are true, then they still got her. As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said Angie Stone's passing is literally Left Eye from TLC all over again. A tragic car crash that flipped over and being the one and only fatality. Just eerie, tragic, and unfortunate. Another person said Puff, being a narcissist, knew that she was the only one that would have empathy for him because of her spirituality. Like she said, he never paid her any attention before. He knew she had a beautiful gift of singing, but he wasn't going to tell her about it. He was simply being an energy vampire as usual. She comes off as an earth angel, attracting a lot of narcs. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Angie's sudden death, and do you think